Why is it that every time we see NASA's history in documentaries, photos, and stories, it's packed with men? Women were there. Even if they were not allowed to stand in the front, they pushed just as hard. They worked just as much. So why have they been erased? Imagine your mother does an incredible job at NASA, and when they celebrate their achievement, they don't even mention her name. What do you feel? Dorothy Vaughan! Hi everyone, welcome to the Hidden Women channel, where we bring forgotten heroines back into the spotlight they always deserved. I'm Fafa. This naughty boy is Aramesh. Jojo is recording. Let's go! Dorothy was born in 1910 in Missouri, a time when being a black girl meant your life came pre-written with terrible limitations. But her mind was too big for any cage. Her parents were supportive and they made a wonderful environment which helped nurture her in mathematics. Black people were not allowed to go to the schools that white people went. So she attended a segregated high school in West Virginia. She was simply a genius in mathematics. She graduated from Wilberforce University in Ohio in 1932 with a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics. The university was historically a black university. Quickly after her graduation, she got married to Howard Vaughan. They had 6 children together, and one of them, later in the future, worked for NASA. All the professors at the university were saying to Dorothy, go to Harvard University. Dorothy, do graduate there. You really deserve it. You are really incredible and intelligent. She didn't listen to them. She just wanted to be a mathematics teacher in order to assist the family in the Great Depression. You know, that time, the economy was horrible. I'm going to tell about it a little bit later. Also, she wanted to inspire the black children that you're enough. You have the right as much as the other children have. You can be a scientist, you can be a teacher, you can be a doctor, you can be an engineer, you can be anyone. You are enough. That time was a crime, speaking like that in the classroom. So she was all the time whispering in their ears and empowering them. Let's get back to the Great Depression era for those who don't know what it was. In 1929, the Great Depression was caused by a broken and unregulated capitalist system that prioritized profit over stability and ignored growing inequalities. In 1943, during the heart of World War II, something very unexpected happened. America, desperate for brain power, started recruiting women into technical fields. Dorothy applied to the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics. Her family were not happy. They were not sure if they're gonna accept Dorothy or not. They were just hopeful in the face, but later they said that they were not very hopeful because she was black. Secondly, she was a woman.
Oh, woman can't think. Women can't do anything. Women are stupid. Women are stupid.
So she applied and she won. They hired her at the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, which later they call it NASA. It's amazing, but it's not, because they put her in the segregated computing area. Some of you might say that, Papa, what is this segregation thing? Many white people believed that they were inherently superior to black people. After slavery was abolished, segregation became a new way to keep black people poor and powerless, limiting access to jobs, land, and education while maintaining white wealth and dominance. Segregation was a tool to keep black success invisible and controlled. Laws like the Jim Crow laws legally enforced racial separation in schools, transportation, housing, and even public bathrooms. Literature, movies, and everyday language constantly dehumanized black people, portraying them as less intelligent, dangerous, or unworthy to justify their mistreatment. The room she was working was full of brilliant black women. All of them were amazing and genius in their own way. But they had to enter to the building from separate doors, using separate bathrooms and separate dining rooms. They were paid less, acknowledged less, and respected less. They were expected to be silent machines, working crucial and critical work, just silent. They were not allowed to speak together. But in this channel, we are dealing with taboo breakers. Dorothy started to question NASA. Why other people look at us like that? We are the same. We are all human beings. Why are we paid less? She questioned them to pay them like the other people. She asked them to respect her and her colleagues like the others. And she became like a champion in the lab. And the main question was, we are working hard in here, but without recognition. Dorothy quickly rose to become the first African American woman to officially supervise a team at NASA. But even that promotion didn't come easily. It took years of acting as a supervisor before they finally gave her the title she had earned. When electronic computers, massive and intimidating IBM machines arrived, many of the human computers faced unemployment. But Dorothy, ever the strategist, saw the future before anyone else did. At night, when her children and her husband were asleep, she started to teach herself Fortran, one of the first programming languages. She not only saved her life and her job at NASA, but she saved the whole team of Black women by teaching them Fortran. Also, she started mentoring women at NASA. She wanted to have more women at NASA. She wanted to ensure that they wouldn't be erased by the march of technology. In the shadows of racism and sexism, Dorothy Vaughan made a big army of future coders. The work of Dorothy and her team helped America win the space race. Their calculations guided rockets, protected astronauts, and turned dreams of reaching the stars into reality. But for decades, their names never appeared in the history books, just a quiet satisfaction that, without us, none of this would have been possible. Isn't that the story of so many women, especially women of color? Dorothy retired in 1971 after 28 years service. She didn't want to retire. She was forced to retire. They offered a very good position that Dorothy really deserved to a white man, who was always learning from Dorothy. She lived to see the first shuttle launch. She lived to see her grandchildren and her children grow and have brilliant careers. But she didn't live to see her own name become known. It wasn't until the 21st century, decades after her death, her name reached millions through the book and film of Hidden Figures. She was a pioneer, a warrior, and the first Black woman supervisor, and possibly the first Black woman at NASA in 1943. Dorothy Vaughan and her colleagues, Katherine Johnson and Mary Jackson, broke both racial and gender barriers in science. They did a great job. It should inspire all of us, especially Black women, especially colored women. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Love you. Don't forget to share this with your friends and your family. Do it again. Please leave a comment for me which woman you want me to cover for you next time. Which country. Boost boost and bye.
Don't forget to share my video. Bye, I shake my hand. As you notice, Jojo did a haircut on my hair. I think it's very cute. It makes me younger and very good-looking. Abolished. The university was historically a Black university.
Historically.